Hi everyone, my name is Nicole and I'm here today, let me just fix this, to talk to you about feast or famine. We started, myself and another photographer, Kate Marie from Montreal, started a Facebook community, and our goal of our Facebook community, called the Simply Confident Photographer, is to create a community for female photographers to get support from each other, to establish friendships and connections with other photographers. So you just don't feel alone. We want you to feel supported and feel that you have friends in the industry. So that's a big part of it. And then we also share a lot of tips and try to keep you guys engaged and sort of answering questions for you. So in our group, when people joined, we asked them questions, and the main thing people said they struggle with is feast or famine. So whether you are currently struggling with that and you go through that pattern, or you are afraid that you're going to, that you, we want to help you with that. So I am going to do a quick little presentation. It's not that quick. It's a little bit of time, but it's worth it. That's going to tell you reasons that you end up in feast or famine, and also walk you through steps to walk you through some steps to what you need to do to not be in it, and then go over some sort of pricing examples so that you can see a breakdown of pricing. And then I'm going to introduce our workshops that are coming up, because those are going to be really helpful for you if you need help in any of the areas that I'm going to talk about. And we also have a beta program this fall, so you can get in on our workshop, but at an earlier time, and it's only open to a very select few people. So you'll actually get more personalized attention, and you'll get it at a lower price, plus you'll get bonus materials. So so that'll be really great. So stay till the end to learn all about these things. All right, I'm just going to share with you. Okay, so here we are. This is myself and Kate. So feast or famine. So this means you're, there are times when you have a ton of bookings, money's coming in, you feel good, and then it's not coming in. So a good example of this is people who work a ton during the fall, and then winter comes and you've got nothing coming. And a lot of people feel that because after the holidays, people don't want to spend as much money. Maybe you don't have a studio and everything's outside, and so the dead of winter is not a time that you really get bookings. And the other thing is, when people are in feast, they tend to be overworking themselves, and that's not really the way to go about things. So that's what feast or famine is. And the reason that you get into feast or famine, there's a bunch of reasons. So you don't have a solid business and financial plan in place, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. You are lacking a solid marketing plan to keep your ideal clients consistently booking. So this goes along with your business plan. Your pricing doesn't support living free of the feast or famine life. You have some blocks from your money story. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this later, but and I have a video in our Facebook group where I interviewed a transformational coach about this. Your money story is what you grew up with. So what happened in your past or in your family's past? Was there a struggle with money? Did you bring in money, but it wasn't spent and everything had to be held close? Everybody has a different money story, but your money story affects, even if you're not thinking that way, it does still affect how you see finances and how much success you have. So there are ways to remove those blocks. And in our workshops, we have somebody who helps us do that. So planning is crucial. This is how you avoid feast or famine, okay? Create a business and financial plan. So I took business for 3 years. just a little background. I actually had to stop the program because I got in a really bad car accident. And then later on when I just didn't go back to it. And I started my own business, but I started it from a photographer standpoint, a creative standpoint, where I was like, well, I just want to do what I love and maybe make some money on it. But I didn't look at it as a solid business for some reason. And I'm sure a lot of people feel this way. But once, like a few years in, I started to really look at things and realize that I was in a bad place. I was charging too little, and I was in a position where I had to take some time off for medical reasons, and I couldn't afford to. I did anyway, and it ended up putting me in a really bad position. And I was like, whoa, something's got to change. Okay. So I sat down, I created a business plan, and that included a plan for all my finances. It sets the foundation of your business. So it gives you that blueprint to work off of. You have everything laid out there. You can go back to it. You can tweak it. You set your goals. You go back and look at them later and check them off. There's so many different things about it that help you in every aspect of your business. And it's really crucial. You'll realize once you do it that it's invaluable. Another part of your business plan is identifying and knowing your ideal client and how to market to them consistently. So that's something we're going to teach in our course. And we're going to go through working through your ideal client and helping you identify that, because sometimes people are a little lost with that and really narrowing it down. So, and then how to find that specific ideal client and get them in the door. Practicing time management. This is planning your schedule. You want to make sure you are working efficiently. I work from home a lot, and I find myself procrastinating and doing other things. And so if I don't set a schedule for myself, I'm screwed. I'm working way too much, or I'm spinning my wheels and I'm not getting enough done because I'm not focused and I don't have this set schedule that I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing here. This is what I'm doing here. This is what I'm doing here. Practicing time management is really important. And also planning time away from your business. You shouldn't be working every single day. I challenge people to take at least one full day off a week. I do it, and I've never been happier than when I started to take one full day off. I used to not do that. I used to miss family events and barely ever see my friends. And I see people all the time talking about how they don't see their kids in the fall for like a few weeks because they're so busy editing and they barely spent any time with them. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your poor kids. They need you. They're only little ones, and you deserve to have time away from your business to live and enjoy your life, because otherwise, what's the point? What's the point of working so much if you're not enjoying life? And don't tell me you're going to enjoy it later, because your kids are going to be grown already, and you never know what later is. So plan time away from your business, and that comes into your time management as well. So why is pricing so important to avoid feast or famine? Now, pricing is really key here to avoiding it, right? So I made some mistakes on these slides, and I'm very disappointed in myself because I also went to school for education. And as a teacher, to mistake and your is really a pet peeve of mine. And I did it in this, I didn't purposely do it, but you'll see some typos, and I apologize because I'm ashamed of myself. So you're not preparing yourself for slower times. So you're not planning ahead. So you're like, okay, well, I'm just always going to have the amount of clients I need every week. And so I'm great. Nope, not realistic. You're not preparing yourself for slower times. You're not figuring out your cost of doing business and income needs correctly. Most people are not. And I can tell you, I do the market research, because if I'm going to be teaching this and talking about it, then I need to know what other people are doing and other people are teaching. And I have seen a lot of educators out there who are putting out a cost of doing business worksheet that is awful. It's not really helpful. It doesn't include everything that you should be considering. And so I created a cost of doing business and income worksheet that literally has spots for you to fill. It's just fillable, and spots for you to fill in every expense I could possibly think of to add in there, and it leaves room for you to add expenses that I maybe missed. And then it also walks you through every income need you could possibly need. If you are happy getting your Starbucks coffee every morning, then I want you to have your Starbucks coffee every morning. And there is nothing wrong with that. You figure that into your income needs. So chances are you haven't worked through a thorough enough cost of doing business and income worksheet. And that is setting yourself up for failure because you're not figuring out your finances for growth. That's the key here. You might want to figure out your minimums, but if you're not figuring out for actual growth and sustainability, then there's no point. You're pricing based on bare minimums or on what others charge. So again, your bare minimum is not what you need to make. Absolutely not. Don't do that to yourself. Don't go, oh, well, my cost of doing business says I just need this much. No. Double that. It depends on what that number comes out to, but it's always going to be more when you start figuring out your pricing. And what others charge. Doesn't matter what others charge. It's a good idea to know. You want to know what the market is like in your area, but that doesn't mean that you can't charge more. Because everybody else is charging $200, $400, doesn't mean that you can't charge $1,000. Because if anything, you'd be in a better place to market at $1,000 than you will at that place where everyone else is. Plus, your numbers are your numbers. They're different from everybody else's. What you value yourself at is different from what the person next door is, okay? So let's say most are charging around $300. I think this might be cutting off for you guys. Let me figure out. I'm gonna actually turn off my video here. So most are charging around $300. So I've done research. I've gone into our group. I go to other photographers and other groups. I click on people's websites. I love to just see people's work, really. And there's so many people out there that are uber talented. Like I look at their work and I think my work's decent. And I'm like, oh my God, they're fantastic. Oh no, they're charging $300 a client. Like, oh no, it makes me so sad. But what I've seen is most are charging around that $300 per client. And that's like including digitals, that's sort of with that model. So you're not doing products. So 300, that's USD is what I'm working with here. So you can figure out your translations. So let's say you have a cost of doing business of $10,000 per year. Now, I will tell you that a cost of doing business for a photography business at $10,000 is the absolute lowest that it could possibly be. Do not tell me your cost of doing business is $6,000 because then you don't really have your business set up right. You don't have everything you need to be running a business at the absolute minimum. And it's not sustainable long term. At $10,000, you haven't even added in workshops and professional development. I still, years later, am still doing professional development throughout the year, whether it's for my photography or for my coaching. I make sure that I am constantly learning more so I can give more to my clients. You have not figured out money to invest back into your business so that you always have money there for anything that might happen, any way you want to grow. Say you don't have a studio, but you want to open a studio. Plan that in. There's a lot of stuff that's not figured in for $10,000. Absolutely not. New equipment, upgrading. None of that is figured in if you have a cost of doing business of $10,000. But we're going to work with those. We're only going to work with minimums here because I want to show you that even at a minimum, $300 per client is a tough sell. Okay. So your income goal, let's say, so this is for somebody that's planning on doing it full time. And your income goal, you live in a lower income area. You don't need a lot of income to be full time. $50,000. Remember, this is before taxes, savings, etc. Again, we're working with bare minimums here. Or retirement fund. You're not figuring on having any money for your retirement. Or you are, but you're going to see soon that it's not much. So with these numbers, you need to bring in $60,000 minimum, okay? So let's set you at working 47 weeks out of the year. And the reason I work with 47 weeks, and I actually set mine lower than this, is because I want you to figure in that you're not working every week. Christmas week, maybe I want you to be spending it with your family. Other people are. 2 weeks vacation every year, standard. Some people get like 5 weeks vacation. So as the owner of a business, you could take more than 2 weeks vacation time. Sick time, we don't get sick time. You're not getting paid. So figure that in. Figure in that you might have a week total throughout the year that you're sick. A week total per year of personal days. And this is minimum. I mean, you figure out what works for you, but you want to set your weeks that you're not working 50 weeks a year. You're not working 52 weeks a year. So let's say you're setting it working 47 weeks. You need 200 clients per year, or 4.25 clients per week every week. There's no wiggle room there. You need 200 clients per year at $300 a client to make $60,000 coming in. You are not set up for growth with this. You have set yourself up for feast or famine, because 200 clients is a lot. You have to market your butt off to get that. You have to put a lot of money into somebody who's going to figure out your SEO, or you have to put a lot of time into figuring out your SEO to get your website optimized so that you have constant flow. But even if you do that, if you don't have all the other tools, if you're not marketing correctly, if you don't have your branding set up correctly, if you don't have your pricing set up correctly, then it doesn't matter how many contacts and leads you get, because they're not all going to book. So $200, 200 clients per year, 4.25 per week, every single week of that 47 weeks. That leaves you no room for those slower weeks. You're in trouble. Or you're taking 8 clients per week at busier times, and then you have slower times. Okay, well, in that 8 clients per week at those busier times, you're not seeing your family, you're not seeing your friends, you're working every single day, you're staying up late every single night, working. Not good. So let's break down that $300 per client. So this is assuming $300 per client, and that's everything. You're not separating your time from your art, which is something I'm going to talk about in a minute. And you give 10 digitals away with that. Now, let's be honest, most of you are giving way more than that, but I'm going to work with 10 and hope that some of you are only giving away 10 with that amount. Your cost of doing business per client is $50. So you sort of make $250, right? Again, this is no investment going back into your business, no room for growth, nothing. So we break that down per hour and say between all communication with your client, shooting, prepping for the shoot in your studio, or driving to and from the shoot, editing, everything, delivering the images, every single piece of your client experience, 5 to 7 hours. Some people spend more than that. I know people who say they spend like 4 hours just on editing. So I'm just going with like sort of a lower one here, 5 to 7 hours. So $35 to $50 an hour. Oh, then you have taxes. So now you're down to $25 to $35 an hour. Oh, forgot savings and retirement. To put even an okay amount, not a great amount, an okay amount, now you're down to $10 to $20 an hour. Now, $10 to $20 an hour. You're the owner of the company. You are doing literally all of the work. You hold all the positions in the entire business. You're making $10 to $20 an hour. Does that sound right? Now, what if you don't get 200 clients at that $300? What if you only have 180 clients? Now you have a deficit of $6,000. You've only brought in $54,000. So you're losing money. And you gave away your product for free, because those digitals, this was just all figuring out your time. Your digitals were just kind of given with it. They were given for free with your time. So this is why I say separate your art from your product, at least at the beginning when you're figuring out your separate prices for each, and then you can bundle them together. So your time is worth something, but so is your art. Think about all of the time you spent learning and practicing. Think about how you have an eye for this. You're talented. You're creative. You're creating art based on all of this, and that's worth something. And it's worth a lot more than what many people are charging. So let's break down that $300 per client, assuming you've separated the two. So again, 10 digitals, cost of doing business is 50. Let's say you decided that out of that $300, your time, your session fee is worth $100. So break that down per hour, and you're at probably 5 to 7 hours. So $14 to $20 an hour. Up taxes. You're now down to $9.80 to $14 an hour. Ooh, a lot of places, that's minimum wage. You're making minimum wage. You don't have money to put aside for savings and retirement. And you are the CEO, manager, lead photographer, janitor, bookkeeper, social media manager, editor, probably a bunch of other things that I'm not even listing here. You're all of those things, and you're making minimum wage. Are all of those jobs together worth that? I certainly don't think so, and I hope you don't either. So you have a product, it's digitals. I know you don't think about digitals as products, you think about only printed things as products, but I want you to think about it a different way. Digitals are a product. Your digitals, if you're pricing that way, most people are giving, I've seen people give up to 100 digitals at that $300 price point. So you are basically saying your digitals are only worth $2 to $20. And I'm going to tell you that digitals are not worth nothing. They don't cost you nothing. And I go over this in my courses. So I can't go into it right now because it's a whole other presentation. But digitals are, so you're saying your digitals are only worth $2 to $20 each. So digitals are your art. It's like if a painter who spent so much time, has this great talent, and gives away their painting for like $2 to $20. All of your education, your practice, your talent, your creativity goes into each and every single one, right? You compose every shot. You take that shot and you put it into your computer and you edit it and you create it to your style. Every single one you create. Once they're released, your clients can print as many times as they want on as many different mediums and sizes as they want, and they can share them as much as they want. I don't care what your release says. They're sharing them with everybody in their family, and all those and the grandparents are all printing them. Not to mention, they're all printing them at CVS, and your pictures are looking awful, printed out at someone's house. So is all of that really only worth $2 to $20 each? I hope if you really sit and think about it this way, that you do not think they are worth only $2 to $20 each. So how can you get out of that feast and famine? You need to do all of the things I just said. You need to create a business plan. You need to have a financial plan. You need to have a marketing plan. You need to know how to market consistently to your ideal client. You need to know all of these things. You need to know your pricing, and you need somebody to help you. We as creatives don't necessarily, or creatives in general, don't necessarily have a business mind. It's hard. It's overwhelming. You put it aside, you procrastinate because you don't want to deal with it because it's overwhelming, right? I know business. This stuff comes easy to me. The pricing stuff comes easy to me. The financial stuff comes easy to me. And so it's helped me create a sustainable business. I went from making an average of $450 per client, and that was when I had raised my prices, and giving all my digitals away with it, to making an average of $2,500 per client. And I have clients spending up to $7,000 per session. And that's not extravagant. That's actually like, I actually need to make that average per client to survive. I live in a high income area. I can't get an apartment or a house without making that much money. I can't pay my bills. So, you need to really be thinking about this in a way that you create the life you want and the business that you want. So I'm going to tell you about our online 5-week intensive workshop. It starts January 6th and goes through February 7th, 2020. What makes it unique? So you have we've set up a Facebook group. It's a private group. That's where all the videos are going to be posted. That's where all the resources are going to be posted. That's where you can ask questions whenever you want. So you have direct access to both Nicole and Kate, myself and Kate, who are the two main mentors for all 5 weeks. That means you can tag us in a post and ask us questions. You can hop onto our lives where we do Q&A, and you can ask questions specifically to your needs. If there's something that you can't post in the group, you can have direct access to us to ask a specific question to help you with the material. You have direct access to 2 bonus coaches for all 5 weeks. One is a financial coach helping with financial planning, tax information, invaluable stuff here, people. This is extra stuff that we can't provide to you. So she's going to help you. The second is a transformational coach who will help you identify and remove those mindset, money story, and energy blocks from your life that are affecting your finances. We're going to help you figure out how you can move past them because they are stopping you. If you're like a hamster in a wheel. If you are doing everything you need to do and you're still not seeing growth, there's something else going on there. So the other thing is you can work at your own pace and on your own time. While you do have to finish this program in the 5 weeks, you can do it at your pace during those 5 weeks. So if you want to, you don't have to hop on. If you can't hop on every single day or dedicate, a set amount of hours every day to it, then, maybe there's 1 or 2 days that you set aside that you want to just plow through it all. Maybe you just need to work on it, at night after the kids go to bed. Whatever you need to do, you do it. You might miss out on our live Q&As, but you can still ask questions. So you can work at your own pace. You can download the materials at your own pace. You can watch the videos at your own pace. This is just the main stuff that we're going to be teaching, but there's also some extra little things in there. Assistance in creating a solid business plan. I'm going to walk you through this. I have a template. So easy to use. There's a guide that comes along with it, along with my video that's going to guide you through it. This lays out your business. This is your finances. This is your marketing. I'm going to help you, and we're going to help you in identifying your ideal client and how to market to them. Because sometimes this is hard to narrow down and hard to figure out. Okay, well now I know what it is. How do I market to them? How do I find them? Marketing in general, branding, networking, social media, and content strategy. Branding isn't just your logo. There's a lot that goes into your branding. So we're going to help you with all these things. Social media and content strategy. I see a lot of people wondering about this. They don't know how to do it. Kate is a master. She knows. She's going to help you. Cost of doing business, financial planning. We're going to make sure you have your numbers right. We're going to make sure you're planning for success. We're going to make sure you're overcoming feast or famine. We're going to teach you about workflow and time management. We are going to show you how to set up email funnels and VIP groups because these are great marketing tools. We are going to be teaching you how to price for profit and growth. I want to teach you how to price yourself so you can grow. I want to teach yourself so that you are not at your minimums because that is not going to help you. You're going to find yourself in really bad positions if you are. In-person sales versus digital and how to thrive with either model. While we both do in-person sales, and we will talk about that a lot, we're going to talk about both and how to build your business with both. And that's going to come into when I teach you about pricing. How to build your portfolio without working for free. I see people doing model calls all the time, giving away a bunch of digitals and their time for free. Number one, I don't call them model calls. I don't want somebody thinking they're my model and they're getting paid. They're not getting paid. They're getting my time for free. They're getting a few products for free. That's it. I make money off of every portfolio building session I do because there's still things I like to do that are new. And I make money off of every single one. Now, there's no guarantee you're going to make money off of every single one, but I'm going to teach you how to set that up so that you should make money off of at least some of them. You should not be working for free. And realizing your value. This is it. We are the Simply Confident Photographer Group. We want you to be confident. We want you to see what we see. When we look at your art and we think, wow, we are blown away. You are so talented. You are worth so much. We want you to see that. Because it doesn't matter if we see it. What matters is if you see it. So there'll be workshops, templates, guides, all included. The value to work with all 5 of us individually and get the personalized attention that you're going to get in this group is valued at over $7,000 Canadian, over $5,000 US. You're going to get it in this group for $18.95 Canadian, which is around 1400 US, over 1400 US. Again, the exchange rate changes sometimes, and you can look at these numbers and use them to figure out your exchange rates if you're in another country. Feel free to join us. We'll teach you. We have an opportunity for 5 people to get in first this fall with our beta program. You get all I mentioned above, plus bonus materials that other people are not going to get in a regular program for just $15.95 Canadian, which is about 1200 USD. So you're getting a discount off of the actual online workshop, plus you're getting bonus materials and direct calls with the 2 main mentors. So the reason we're doing this is because this is the first time we've come together. We've all coached on our own. We've all taught people on our own, but now we're coming together. And so we just want to open this up and do it with a small group first and give you some extra personalized attention. Remember, if there's only 5 people in there, you are getting us even more personal. And so we just decided to do this. We'll do sort of a beta program. So we're only accepting 5 participants, and it starts September 23rd. So the application is linked below, as is the information to the workshops in general, our online workshop and our in-person workshop, which is coming this fall. So that is, that's all linked below, as well as our Facebook group. So you can join it and come be part of our community, even if you're not part of our workshop. In person, we are going to in-person workshop October 11th and 12th in Montreal. So Kate is a master at studio work. So she will be doing a studio newborn session that includes setup, posing, workflow, and wrapping techniques. She will teach you in studio lighting, and I will teach you off camera flash outdoors, because sometimes you need to fill that light, right? Outdoor maternity and lifestyle family session. I'm going to be holding those, and that's my bread and butter. Editing videos from each of us for you to view and download, and IPS and digital viewing workflow. So we're going to cover all of that in 2 full days of hands-on experience. And you get that from, you get 2 mentors for that. And that's $13.95 Canadian, or around $10.50 USD. So again, the link to that is below as well. And we're still accepting people for that. So, all right, so I hope that was helpful for you. You know, I just want to see people succeed. You know, we started our community because we want to help other people. We want to support other people. And I think for me, supporting other people is making sure that they see their value and making sure that they are priced so that I want you to be able to do what you love and not feel overwhelmed and stressed all the time, not feel like you're not making any money. I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel like you're worthy. I want you to not be frustrated because you're not making enough and you're not getting out of that feast or famine. And that's what Kate wants as well. So, so please join us. If you want to join the beta program, get on that now, because we are only accepting applications till the end of this week. And we're only selecting 5 people. So you really want to make sure you get in on that as soon as possible. If you want to sign up for our January program, please do. We are really excited about that. And it's a great time, actually. January is awesome because it is the beginning of the year. I always take January to figure out my next year, and any pricing changes I make go into effect February 1st. So, so this will be a great time for you if you can't get into the fall one, if you try and can't get in, or you just feel like you can't do it in the fall, then definitely sign up for our January one. It's a perfect time to do it. So if you have any questions on it, you can ask us in our Facebook group or reach out to us, and we would love to answer any questions about anything I mentioned in this video. All right, have a great day.